Thanks, everybody. Welcome to Build. I'm your host, Ricky Camilleri. Our next guests are the stars of an upcoming horror movie that is sure to rattle some cages. It's called The Perfection, and it stars Allison Williams and Logan Browning, who are here, going to come out here in just a second. And honestly, to say anything more about this movie, other than that it's about a school for musical prodigies, would be saying too much. So let's just take a look at the trailer.
What is happening to me? I'm burning up.
It's gonna be okay, Lizzie.
Oh, it's not. Oh, God, it's not. Listen to me. Something is wrong. Something is wrong with me.
Lizzie, I know. That's why we need to get you help.
I'm dying. I'm dying. What's happening? What's happening?
Oh, my God.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. What is it?
I don't know. What the fuck?
Okay, alive. It's bugs. Help me. Help me, Sarah. Help me.
You know what you have to do?
Well, you know what happens now.
Everybody, please welcome Allison Williams and Logan Browning. Let's hear it.
Hi.
Hey. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for making this, as a horror fan, extremely fun, bonkers, fucking wild ride of a movie. It is so much fun to watch. I loved it. I know that the director of it has directed a number of episodes of Girls, going back to, I think, the first season, right?
Yeah, Richard Shepard I've known for years at this point, and we always wanted to do a movie together, and then this was it.
So how did it come to you? How did he approach you with it? Did he just give you the script?
No, he texted me first and said, I have an insane script for you. It's crazy, so please call me when you finish reading it. I'm having it sent to you, like a hard copy, which really never happens anymore. That I felt like that was very official. So the script arrives. I read it in one sitting. I could not put it down. I couldn't predict what was going to happen, and I loved that. I loved the character of Charlotte, and I loved that it was Richard, and so I said, yes, please. This is insane. I can't wait to do this.
Logan, what were your first thoughts when you read the script?
I loved it. I similarly, I couldn't put it down. I loved that when I got to a certain point in the script, maybe, I don't know, 20 pages in, something happens to my character, and I didn't think he could recover from it. And then it continued. And the other thing I really loved about the script was that there were these two female characters leading the story who were so strong and so twisted and have amazing character developments. You don't see that often in the genre.
It's also always playing with our expectations with what the genre usually does or is, supposed to do with two women at the center of a thriller, right?
Absolutely, all the tropes, all the stereotypes, whether it's bimbo, whether it's dies early, whether it's just used for sexual gratification. Usually women are pawns in this industry or in this sort of genre.
Yeah. And this totally turns it on its head.
Well, it's sort of all in the blender, and then it comes out in a subversive way. I feel like it's so hard to talk about this movie.
I'm watching you struggle, and I just want you to know you're in great company. Everyone we've talked about this movie starts asking questions and then immediately realizes how little of the movie that we can talk about.
Well, it's so strange, right? Because you interview people about comic book movies all the time, right? And everyone's like, no spoilers for Mike. And it's like, what happens in this comic book?
Was written. You all read it. Yeah, exactly.
This comic book movie was in the trailer. You know exactly what's going to happen. But with this, you literally know nothing going into it. And the best part of watching it is not knowing, because you can't predict anything that's going to happen.
No, it's just a ride. And as I was reading, I was trying to predict. I was like, I've seen a lot of movies. I think I know where this is going to go. I was wrong every single time. And that is sort of the experience of watching it, too. You think there's something that's given away in the trailer that has to be like the pinnacle of the movie. And when it happens in the movie, you're like, wait, we have so much movie left.
Yeah.
How is this happening so early on? And then just keeps getting wilder and wilder.
It kind of even, and this is so cagey, it kind of even plays with that moment at the end as well, where you're like, there's so little of this movie left. What can we do? How can we do this? How can we finish this?
Right.
And it does it beautifully.
I think what is fantastic about that is it leaves it to the audience to finish that part of the movie without giving things away.
I mean, it was pretty much finished for me, I think. Right? There wasn't anything for me left up to discussion in terms of what happened there. You know, Allison, coming from Get Out and into this, was there any hesitation going into this after having done Get Out?
No, if anything, I feel like Get Out primed me to read these scripts differently because I felt like I could see the opportunity to get into subject areas that you can't usually deal with without making it the single subject and focus of a movie. This movie has so much stuff in it, and none of it defines the movie in and of itself. It's about so many different things, and it's in the eye of the beholder in a way. It's a kaleidoscope, basically. And so I loved that. Plus, the characters are so dense, and there's so much to do as an actor, and this genre is not scared of that. It's not scared of a character that they risk the audience not understanding for a large portion of the movie. I think that's really cool. And in a lot of other genres, you don't have that opportunity. So I think because of Get Out, I read psychological thrillers differently. And I thought, this is a great way to do our job. And when I got this script, I understood the aesthetic of it. I understood its milieu. I was primed to like it. And I also understood that people would think of me as Rose from Get Out going into this movie. And I thought that that would actually be helpful.
Are you comfortable with maybe now being like a scream queen?
I don't know. I guess so. I guess I love the genre. So yeah.
I don't know if your characters in either in this or in Get Out really, I don't know. I mean, you're in horror movies, but they're definitely not the screamers.
No, although I looked this up yesterday on Wikipedia, and Scream Queen is just a performer who's associated often with the genre. So in that way, I guess I've made 2 movies and both of them are in this genre.
I'm not surprised that you looked up Scream Queen too.
Well, I just wanted to know what I was talking about. So yeah, I did. I looked it up yesterday on Wikipedia.
That's true, but I do feel like it's normally it's often been associated with women who get killed or are generally the sort
Who are
of
screaming.
Yeah, who are screaming most of the movie. Yeah. Sure, there it is.
Yeah, I spend very little. I make people scream, kind of.
Right. Did either of you? There are some scenes where the two of you have to play cello pretty well, or at least act as if you can play pretty well. What was that like?
It was incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. If you pick up that instrument, you're in for a wild ride.